San Jose is quickly becoming Silicon Valley's playground for the ultra-wealthy, with sprawling estates, breathtaking views, and neighborhoods that define luxury living without the stuffiness. So, where should you plant your roots? Today, we're uncovering the most prestigious neighborhoods in San Jose, from hidden gems to multi-million-dollar mansions. So today, we're going to break it down into 4 exclusive neighborhoods that have ultra-luxury properties. We're going to discuss the price ranges, the type of people that live there, the type of property you might see, so that you get a good feel and flavor of all of these different areas. So why would people live in San Jose? Well, San Jose is the southernmost part of Silicon Valley, and it has a little bit more spread out suburban feel and is also a bit more affordable than other areas of the Bay. All right, we're gonna start off with Silver Creek Valley, which is known for being an exclusive neighborhood with a lot of gated communities, a country club, and newer built construction. So think estates built in the 2000s or the late 90s with high ceilings and stucco exteriors, a lot of newer feel that is attractive to many people living in the area. Prices in Silver Creek range from $1.5 million for a small older home of say 1,700 square feet, all the way up to well over $5 million for these estates. So today we're going to focus on properties that are $3 million or higher to give you a feel of what these properties that are ultra luxury would look like. Now, where is Silver Creek? Silver Creek is located in the east foothills of San Jose on the north side of Highway 101, up here tucked into this area. Now, these hills are really beautiful, but they are covered with grasses. So you will see from December to April, the hills are very green, bright, lush spring color. And as we get into the warmer and drier months in California, you get that California golden color that covers the hills. As I mentioned, this area is going to have newer construction with sprawling estates and many custom builds in the area. With these gated communities, you have a feeling of exclusiveness as well as access to the Silver Creek Country Club to really elevate the lifestyle in this area. Now, what are the price ranges or what are the types of homes you can get for your money? So this is a list of all the homes that have sold in Silver Creek in the last 365 days. So look at the top one at 5.8 million was 8,700 square feet on 3/4 of an acre. So really big property. And you'll see a lot of 5 and 4 bedroom properties with well over 3,000 square feet in this higher price point. You'll also notice of the sales, they start at 3.1 million and go all the way up to 5.8 million. And in the last year, there were 16 sales that were over $3 million in the Silver Creek area. So let's take a look at this first one on Snowdon Place. As you can see, a very sprawling estate with beautiful views of the foothills, tucked above a lot of the other neighborhoods, so you get a beautiful view. These are green hills, as I mentioned, that we see a few months of the year. A really exclusive, highly manicured estate with, wow, look at that. That is 7-car garage, nice open high ceilings, open stairway. So this gives you a feel. Now, this home is not a brand new estate, but it was built fairly recently. You can tell from the style, but yet because of the quality, because of the size and the construction, it still closed at $5.8 million. And you see it was built in 2004. So it's about a 20-year-old home. Now, if we take a look at the next one, as far as price point, you get the same similar feel. You're getting a lot of stucco exterior, a little bit of mission style in there, multiple cars garage, gated, high ceilings, top materials, fancy flooring and chandeliers to give that feeling of a really eloquent estate. So this is a pretty typical feel of what you're going to see in the higher end and the Silver Creek Country Club. The type of people that move to this area are very executive, family oriented. There are great public schools in this neighborhood, so that does draw a lot of families to the area as well. And if you like to golf, the Silver Creek Country Club is right there, so it's great access, as well as you have social amenities for that as well. Now, this is not super different than Almaden Valley as far as some of the amenities, but we will compare and contrast because there are some slight differences in the construction and the overall feel of the neighborhood. You will note that Silver Creek is highly manicured. Lots of big, wide roads, sidewalks, and grasses and palm trees, and very manicured inside and outside of the exclusive communities that are gated. Now, the average income in Silver Creek area, the zip code of 95138, is $255,000, which I feel is a little bit low. Obviously, people buying the $3 million and up properties are going to have a higher income. And we mentioned before the range of 1.5 all the way up to 5 million. So that probably is bringing that average down a little bit. All right, now let's go ahead and jump over to Almaden Valley. Now, Almaden Valley is known for its luxury and high-end properties as well, but you will contrast it from Silver Creek in a couple different ways. Number one, there's not really gated communities, but there are more sprawling single-story ranch-style homes because of when Almaden Valley was built out. There is also a country club like there is in Silver Creek, but the foothills are going to be green all year long because they are oak tree covered rather than the other side of the valley that has the grassy cover. Now, the types of homes you're going to find in Almaden Valley are really mostly built in the 70s and 80s, though the newer estates you will find have been built in the 1990s and some in the 2000s. So they're a little bit older structure, not quite as high ceilings, and a little bit different feel to the property. So we're going to show you some of those pictures to give you an idea of that. But one of the biggest contrasts are the people that move to Almaden Valley are people who embrace the outdoor lifestyle. Now, the average income in Almaden Valley when I search is actually a little bit higher at $297,000. And that's, I think, because the starting point in Almaden Valley is a little bit higher. Now, let's look into the high-end properties that have sold in Almaden in the last 365 days. So here we are looking at properties that have sold as well as a few that are active, and we'll get into this one. So this one on Gold Creek was actually recently built, but it has much different feel, you can see, than what you saw in Silver Creek area. So this is more modern, a little bit more ranch style feel. This does have beautiful high ceilings and a lot of modern amenities, but a different feel than what you found on those estate homes in Silver Creek. Now here's another property that sold on Annie Way for over $4 million. Very modern, very beautiful. Again, a ranch style type property. So lots of different options and a little bit different feel in Almaden Valley, more classic architecture and a little more laid back, just community and environment, which you are seeing actually come out in the architecture as well. Now, there is one property as well that, you can find some unique, beautiful estates. Here's one that has a very European feel, a lot of beautiful details, but you see it's embracing the oak trees and the hills around it. And so there are beautiful high-end estate type properties in Almaden Valley as well that you can really appreciate. Almaden Valley is located, as we said, on the other side of Silicon Valley in the southern section up against the foothills that separate San Jose from Santa Cruz and the ocean. You will access Almaden Valley, particularly from Highway 85 and Almaden Expressway, but it's right off of Highway 87 as well. So you get a quick travel into downtown San Jose or over to the airport, and also has great proximity to many restaurant areas that are highly popular, such as Willow Glen, Campbell, Los Gatos, the Prune Yard. So if you like to get a night out, you can get from Almaden Valley in just 15 minutes to some of these great amenities that are nearby. Now, Almaden, of course, has a couple high-end restaurants and other restaurants available, not as many downtown kind of feeling locations, though. And you'll see the same in Silver Creek as well. It's a little bit more isolated as far as restaurants and shopping goes. But in Almaden, there is a huge, at Blossom Hill, the entrance into Almaden, a huge shopping area with Costco and Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and several different grocery stores. So there are a lot of large shopping options, very close just outside of Almaden Valley. One of the really unique features of Almaden Valley is the Cabana Club community. That is the community swim clubs that are speckled throughout Almaden Valley. There are 6 or 7 that are available to different neighborhoods in Almaden Valley, but that creates a very fun outdoorsy culture in the summer. There's also tennis clubs and swim clubs, and of course at the country club, we've got pickleball courts and golf and a lot of other options as well. So you will find in Almaden Valley a lot of people out and about walking, biking, hiking in the Quicksilver County Park, which is right here in this open space. There is a lot of open space, Calero County Park, Quicksilver, which leads to Sierra Azul. So Almaden Valley is surrounded by so much great outdoor space and hiking. People that live in Almaden Valley are gonna be tech families because once again, it has very strong public schools that are rated really high that draw families in, and that outdoorsy sports-oriented culture. Now let's jump into our next one, which is Willow Glen. So Willow Glen is a very charming downtown focused area. There is boutique shops, beautiful, lovely restaurants, a lot of downtown community farmers markets and festivals that bring the community together. Now the properties that are close proximity to downtown are a little bit higher end, but you will find higher rebuilds, new rebuilds that have been done to really elevate the modern style of the property. So again, a very different feel than Silver Creek, and even more high-end properties in Willow Glen. In Willow Glen, we see a price range all the way from $900,000 up to well over $5 million. Now these $900,000 properties are built in the 1920s to 1940s, and they can be just 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. Small little unique cute cottages. But today we're going to focus on those $3 million and up luxury properties, with the average being $3.6 million and the range of $3 million to $5.3 million. And the interesting thing is in Willow Glen, we're seeing twice as many sales in this high-end price point than we are in Almaden and Silver Creek. So we saw 33 sales in the last year in that price point. And the beauty is Willow Glen is tucked into downtown kind of area of San Jose. So we find it tucked in here to 280 and Highway 87, literally just the other side of the corner of freeway of downtown San Jose. So just a mile or two from downtown San Jose. And there are some unique ranch style properties in this Willow Street Park area. And then downtown is here on Lincoln Avenue, where you're going to see some beautiful boutique shops and restaurants and beautiful homes that are around that area as well. So let's take a quick look. You know, the average income in Willow Glen is coming out at $224,000, but again, a huge price range. So people that are buying these higher end homes are going to have a higher income than that. And what's so unique about Willow Glen is going to be the walkability, the tree-lined streets, the downtown charming, like Main Street vibe. That is really unique about Willow Glen and what really differentiates this area from the other areas we are talking about today. So let's look at this one here on Campbell Avenue. This is closer to the Prune Yard area. Again, more of a ranch style property, lots of beautiful high-end features, and open and bright and gorgeous, right? Now, if we look at the next one that's sold on Dry Creek. Dry Creek is one of the older areas that has some stunning estates. You see, this home was actually built in 1949, and it is stunning on a big piece of property, and it has been beautifully remodeled to a modern feel. Willow Glen, again, has those beautiful properties. This is on a ½ acre. So nice options there, and a huge range of price points that you're gonna see, many in the $4 and $4.5 million range. So in Willow Glen, you're also gonna see some of these beautiful estates. This one's on Richards Avenue, a classic Willow Glen neighborhood. We're only gonna see some exterior photos of this property. Now, if we go into some of the newer rebuilds, there are some beautiful rebuilds that we can find. Okay, this property here was rebuilt in 2007. It's really big, high ceilings, beautiful as well. This is a different type of style and estate that you can get in the Willow Glen area. Now, one of my favorite builders in Willow Glen that is taking some of these older homes and building these modern, beautiful estates is Thomas James Homes. So checking out some of their properties is definitely worth your time. I'd love to show you some of those particular properties so that we can discuss if it's a match for you. Now let's quickly go into the Rose Garden, which is our last area that we're going to cover today. And Rose Garden has a very unique vibe because there is much more historical estates in this area. For example, University Avenue is a very popular area that has properties on ½ to 3rd acre lots that again are sprawled out, but built in the 50s and 60s. So a slightly different mid-century sort of vibe, depending on how it's been remodeled. And there is a huge range as well in this area from $3 million to $4.6 million, but in the $3 million plus range in Rose Garden, there's only been 5 sales in the last year. So much less common. Now, we will note that the Rose Garden is just a pocket neighborhood. It's not as big as some of these other areas that we're talking about today, but it is very central as well, located right here off of the municipal Rose Garden. So you're going to see 2 distinct areas really. This area right around the Rose Garden with Emery Street and Dana, for example, with views. You're going to get some older style homes like Tudor style homes. And then on University Avenue and University Way is where we're going to see some of those more beautiful, sprawling, older 50s and 60s estates. These historic estates are really beautiful and on really wide streets, have unique architecture as well. So let's take a look at this one on University Way that closed for $4.6 million. So this one is a rebuild that is much more modern, but you can see it has the beautiful doors, sprawling stairway. This feels a little bit more like something you'd see in Silver Creek or newer construction in Almaden Valley. You also see that kind of style in Willow Glen as well. But if we go to the next one on University Avenue, this is the more classic estate that I was talking about. You get a sprawling, this has been updated and rebuilt, but see the huge front yard, the beautiful doors, all a sprawling 1-story estate type property. And so that's what you're going to see a little bit more in that area. Now, the people that live in Rose Garden are going to be not as focused on schools, or they're sending their kids to private schools just like in Willow Glen. And it's not quite as walkable, but it is walkable in the immediate area, but you don't have the downtown like you do in Willow Glen. So there's some trade-offs between all these different areas, and it really depends on which vibe is most attractive to you. You're gonna see a range in Silver Creek of about $900 a square foot, and Almaden Valley about the same thing. In Willow Glen, we're looking at over $1,000 a square foot for some of those beautiful rebuilds, and in Rose Garden, $850 a square foot. So a little bit more reasonable price because of the age of the properties. And one of the biggest differentiators between them is going to be like access to going out to restaurants if you like to eat out and you're a foodie. Willow Glen is going to be the prime option for that. Almaden, you're about 10 to 15 minutes to a lot of those different downtown areas like Willow Glen, Campbell, the Prune Yard, or Los Gatos. And if you don't really want to live in San Jose City proper, the ultra wealthy will end over into Los Gatos or Saratoga, obviously all the way up to Palo Alto, and Atherton is a high end as well. But if you're in the South Bay, Los Gatos, Saratoga, Montecito are going to be some areas where people will go. But I will tell you the dollar per square foot range in those areas is significantly higher than the areas that we're talking about today. So if you're an up and coming millionaire plus billionaire, then it is a place to consider these neighborhoods in San Jose for the wealthy. And of course, if you're thinking about moving here to San Jose, then give me a call. I would love to connect with you. You can check out the information on the screen or click that QR code or the link below to schedule a 15-minute initial call to have a discussion on how we might be able to help you. And if you want to know more about San Jose from the locals, like what do they hate about living here, you got to check out my video where I did some interviews on the street for real people talking here about San Jose. Thanks so much for joining me.